Hi, everybody. Hello, hello. Welcome, welcome. I am so excited to be with all of you. Welcome to the premiere of our little show. Welcome to the Craft Hour with Pinkfresh Studio. I just want to make sure that everyone can hear me perfectly. So let's go ahead and just check in. I want to know where you're from in the comments, and I want to make sure that you can hear me okay. So if you could just give me a thumbs up or just check in to make sure that the audio is going well, I would appreciate it. We're so glad that you're here. Welcome, everybody. It's the premiere episode here at Pinkfresh Studio, and I am so excited to be here. For those of you who don't know me, my name is Jeff, and I am from Orlando, Florida. How about you all? Where are you calling and talking to me from? If you could, again, just make sure you tell me that the audio is okay, we'll get the show started and get underway. Birdie is from Orlando, Florida. I love it. That's great. Welcome, Birdie. I'm so glad that you're here. Northern California. It looks like our West Coast is representing well. That's awesome. Hi, Helen. Welcome to the show. I'm so glad that you're here. How's the audio, everybody? I just want to make sure that you can hear me okay before we get started with the show. Helen, I'm so glad you're here. It's good to have a familiar face around. Welcome, welcome. Again, everybody, welcome to Pinkfresh Studio. Their channel has decided to give me a show. I have no idea why they did that. Who approved that? We're so glad to welcome you to Craft Hour. I'm your host, Jeff Lindberg, and again, it's my pleasure to be with you today. You know, we wanted to come to you and make sure that you had an escape, a Monday escape to get away and enjoy just a little bit of crafting with friends. I hope that this show will be part of that tradition for you every Monday night at 7 p.m. So welcome, welcome. We're glad that you're here. Hi, Sika. So it looks like we're buffering and having just a little bit of buffing issues. I hope we're going to fix that, because that would be awkward. Let's go ahead and get our show underway. Tammy gave me a thumbs up and says everything's good. Avra, so glad that you're here. Sika, keep me posted on how we're doing. I don't want to make sure that we're not having too many issues. So we're going to truck along. You know, there's one person that was right behind the owner of Pinkfresh Studio and making sure that this was going to go perfectly well. And that's the marketing director for Pinkfresh Studio, a friend, a mentor, and someone that was very much interested in us having a lot of fun. So buffering in and out. I can hear you fine. Buffering. Oh no. Let's see. Audio is great, but we're buffering. Let's go ahead and bring in, let's get to it. Let's get right into it with Leah just to make sure. I hate that we're having so many little issues. Okay, let's do this. Let's bring on Leah, and at least we can talk and make sure that things are going okay for you. So let's bring in her right now. Miss Leah is joining us from her parents' home in Montana, and so we're glad to have her join. So let's go ahead and welcome my friend and yours, Leah. Hi, Leah Lawson.
Hi there. I took myself off mute. Is that right? Perfect. I'm here. Yeah, I'm kind of noticing that on my end too. I'm trying to see if like it settle out or whatever. So let me refresh here and see what's happening on my end as well. All right. I know that's the worst. Of course, this would happen. Okay, let's see what people's. Okay, good. Maybe we've settled in a little bit. Well, we, of course, have watched your craft cocktail hours or so that you do on your YouTube channel. And we thought it would be fun to have a Pinkfresh version. And you are just so fun and friendly and relatable that we wanted to have you host it. We thought that that would be a lot of fun.
That's awesome. That's great. And so you are joining us from Montana right now. You are working remotely from your typical studio setup, still working though, and joining me tonight. So how has the trip been so far?
It's good. You know, we drove 16 hours to get here all in one stretch. So I was a little tired those first couple of days, but we are good. We've gotten caught up on some sleep and we're just having a really lovely time hanging out with family, which has been much needed.
Awesome. Awesome.
All right, so we are going to do some ink blending. Are you so excited about that? Uh-oh. Okay.
Hi, everybody. I'm back. Oh my gosh. We're here. We're here. So, everybody, let me just bring you behind the Wizard of Oz curtain before we get started. So, I run this program off of something called Ecamm Live. And so, Ecamm Live is kind of interesting because I am a DJ, a television producer, a cameraman, as well as I hope y'all can hear me now. Everybody can hear me now, right? Can't hear Jeff. How did we lose sound on Jeff? Can you all hear me now? Leah, can you hear me okay?
I can hear you just fine.
Okay. Will you go ahead and tell everybody that I'm working on why it's not working? And I'm going to put the camera on you and fix some things behind here, behind the scenes. Does that sound good?
Yes, that's fine.
Great.
Okay, so Jeff is having some audio issues right now. So I'm going to chat with you for a minute while he figures out what is going on. I think we're maybe getting some notes that your audio is back, Jeff. I'm seeing some things.
Oh, great. Okay.
Maybe.
Got it. Well, let's keep those
And
thumbs
now,
up
yep,
coming
I
if
also
that's
just
the
got a
case.
note from
We're now
Heather, who's
okay.
for Pinkfresh with all of this, that Jeff's audio is back.
Great. It's taking
Yay.
sound in my ear too. Goodness gracious. You would think that Leah and I have not already had a full rehearsal of this show, but we have. But that's show business, which is great. Roxanne says you can hear me great, which is awesome. So, Miss Leah, what we'll do is I'll go ahead and put the camera back on me, and you can get your desktop ready for tonight's card making. Great.
Sounds great.
Awesome. All right, let's pull Miss Leah off as she gets her camera ready. I'm hoping that now you guys can hear me okay. Can't hear Jeff. Jeff is on camera, but no audio. Goodness. Lost Jeff again. Well, this is not going well. Hear you loud and clear. So I'm going to keep trucking because I think what's happening is we can sometimes see you make a split screen does not work. Let's not do split screen ever again. Okay, split screen equals no audio for Jeff. Okay, got it. Well, I will pay close attention as we move forward. I'm hoping that you can hear me now by myself. Ugh, goodness gracious, why don't you hear me? Okay. Miss Leah, are you still there?
Yes, I'm sorry. I had to turn my phone off mute.
Awesome. All right, Miss Leah, go ahead and tell us.
Upside down. There's a whole lot going on here.
Yes, the comments definitely have a lag, so I need to make sure that we don't pay so much close to the lag. Sandy, thank you so much. The split screen is working. No audio from Jeff. Okay. I don't know why it would say that, but we're going to keep trucking. Miss Leah, what are we working on today? We are going to focus ourselves on some ink blending, right?
We are. We are going to do some ink blending with our premium dye inks. We are going to make a simpler version of a set of cards that one of our creative team members, Christina, posted to the Pinkfresh Studio blog last week. And instead she used the Simply Diamonds, and this time around we are going to use the Simply Hexagon.
Fun. Okay. Great.
Right. So are you ready to do some ink blending?
Let's do it. Tell me a little bit about what makes ink blending hard for some people.
So ink blending, actually, unless you're like a master, like our lovely friend Laura Basson,
Oh, we love
ink
Laura.
blending isn't always easy. Is my camera turned around the wrong way?
It is like it is not like it was the other night, but we're good. I think we're good.
Okay. Okay, sorry about that. Anyway, some with ink blending with premium dye inks, they're a little bit different than ink blending with like a hybrid ink. So say like an oxide or a distress ink. And so sometimes you find that people get a little frustrated with dye inks just because they're a very different formula. They're not going to sit on top of the paper like a more hybrid type of ink would. So there's a couple of tips that I have that help me when I'm ink blending with dye inks. So the first thing is the brushes. There are brushes out there that are really great for like oxides and those type of inks, but I have found that for dye inks, I really, really love the life-changing brushes from Picket Fence Studio, just because of how soft they are. And then I don't have these ones, but my friend Heather, our creative director, she also uses those new ergonomic brushes from Pink and Maine, and she gets amazing results when ink blending with dye inks with those as well.
Great.
What kind of brushes do you use?
Well, I absolutely have been willing to try anything because, like I said, I wanted to make sure that I was getting better at it. So I have the Pink and Maine ergonomic brush, as well as some of the life-changing brushes by both Studio Katya, but I'm tonight trying ones by our friends at Picket Fence Studios. Now,
very cool.
Let me know though, how would you say people color code theirs? Do you feel like you have to color code yours?
You know, I actually don't. I tend to ink blend with lighter shades anyway.
Okay.
But what I have actually found, as long as I am not going too crazy on getting it all inked up, I've actually found if I just take a microfiber cloth and just wipe it off really well, I can actually go right to another color with no issue.
Okay. Got it. Hi, Lori. So glad that you're joining us. We're working out some technical issues, but we're having a lot of fun. We're talking about ink blending tonight, and we're recreating a card that was successful on the Pinkfresh Studio blog, which is great. So what color are we going to start with?
All right, so we are going to start with Ocean Breeze, which is the lightest tone in our aqua selection of inks.
Awesome. So we're going to start with that one. I'm going to
And
try
so
to.
what I'm going to do, so, sorry, I cut you off. What did you
That's
say?
okay. I was going to say I'm going to put the camera on you, and I'm going to try to fix a little bit of white blowout that is on my desktop. Since you're coming in so beautifully, I'll let them see you, and
Okay,
I'll be right back. So we're going to start some ink blending. We're starting with that
perfect.
one color.
Absolutely. So I'm just going to come in from the very top of my card, and I'm just going to pull that Ocean Breeze down. And I'm going to go about a third of the way down. And you might not see the blue right away because it is a little bit lighter of a shade of blue. And it's our Ocean Breeze, as I mentioned before. And I'm using one of the bigger brushes from the life-changing brushes from Picket Fence. And less is always more, I think, when you're ink blending. So dab it off if you feel like you got a little much, and just build on that color until it looks like the way that you want it to.
That's so great.
How you doing over there, Jeff?
All
Are you
right.
getting it fixed?
I'm getting it fixed. I'm going to go ahead and
Awesome.
start over here too. Let me go ahead and bring my
Cool.
camera back up.
And it does look like, you guys, I'm real sorry. It looks like my internet's not great. We did everything we could here to make sure that no one was on the Wi-Fi while I was doing this, but it just looks like maybe we don't have the most powerful internet over here in Montana. So I do apologize for that.
So everybody, we wanted to make sure that we created a show that was just not about talking about products all night long. We love
Nope.
our Pinkfresh products, but we also want to socialize with each of you. So throughout the night, I'm going to be throwing up some questions that are a range of questions that I would love for you to help me pick. What our hope here is that we can start a social dialogue about what everybody's feeling and thinking, and knowing about what's going on in their life. So I'm going to go ahead, and since I see so many comments from, let's see, Miss Karen Jordan. Karen, 1 through 5, what question card would you like for us to start with tonight? You get to pick, Miss Karen.
Be fun.
Yeah. Denise loves them. Miss Karen, are you still there? Come in, Miss Karen. All right, somebody else. Let's just get some good votes starting. What question would y'all want? 1 through 5. Which one do you think you want? The comments working for you, Miss Leah?
Well, I'm not sure how far behind I am. I have been seeing some comments come through, but I haven't seen any answers to the question. So that makes me a little worried.
Yeah, me too.
Maybe I'll do a little, oh, someone did a 3, someone did a 4. Okay, they're starting to come in.
Okay, that's good.
Now I'm seeing some. We're going to get there, guys.
Karen
wants, first show, it's always the hardest.
Yes. Karen wants number 3. That's awesome. Okay. And you're getting accolades for having a better picture. All right.
Good. I'm glad it's getting better.
Miss Karen. All right. Miss Karen has spoken. Question number 3. This is for everybody, but Leah and I can answer it first. I think that you all know my answer because we're doing it right now. The question is, what crafting technique intimidates you? This is question number 3. We'll pick the others a little bit later. So what is there a technique that you still kind of suffer or are a little worried about?
Yes, absolutely. I am not good with Copic markers or alcohol markers of any sort. Like it seems like they're just not in my wheelhouse.
Okay, got it. And have you tried? Have you started? What do you tell yourself? Because like I'm trying my blending. I'm trying to get better about it.
For sure. I do try. I feel like Copics are so expensive, and I think that's wherein lies my problem, because I am definitely like a want all the colors kind of girl.
Mm-hmm.
And so I think I struggle with that aspect of it. And I have a hard time blending them. I think I just blend things better that are water-based.
Okay.
What about you?
Well, ink blending and also, just like you said, critter coloring for me.
Oh
Uh,
yeah, I
that's
agree.
critter coloring is definitely a little bit of an issue. Folks, I see that my camera is very much blown out. So I promise I'm coloring with my Jedi Master, and I am moved on to our sparkling rose.
Yeah, sorry, I should have mentioned that, but I was answering the Copic question or the challenging technique question. How's your ink blending going over there, Jeff?
It went better at rehearsal. I think it's
Okay,
because
okay.
the chef in the kitchen is trying to do a little too much, I think. But
I
we're
was gonna
gonna.
say you have so much that you're having to do over there, and I think we're both probably a little bit nervous.
And
Okay,
I've
so I'm
decided I'm.
seeing I'm seeing some answers, and it looks like we have a lot of people that are saying no line watercolor. I agree. I'm a little bit better at no line coloring with water-based things like watercolor or water markers. But
Mm,
I agree, no line coloring is also a little bit um scary.
So I've switched over to the new pink and main ergonomic brush to give it a try as well.
Yeah. How's it
Yeah,
going?
it's going pretty well. It does. I did take a little harsher than. Again, I think what I need to do is I need to make sure color blending. Michelle agrees with me. Michelle, thank you so much for making me feel like I'm not alone out there, which is great.
You're
So
absolutely not alone.
I'm telling you guys, this ink blending thing is can be a little bit of a challenge. And do you know that I kind of know this about myself, so I'm trying very hard to stay on top of it. And but when you see Laura, when you see Ivana, when you see a lot of Pink Fresh designers, it looks so beautifully easy, you know?
For sure. I think that it definitely, when you see somebody that has done it for a long time or just has that, they just have that, knackful hand for doing it, it can be intimidating. So I think it's important to just, um, embrace when you make mistakes and just try to have fun doing it and not get frustrated. And um, also, I have a tip for you. If
Okay.
you really mess up an ink blended panel, because I do this all the time,
Yep.
splatter it. It always looks better.
Oh, nice. Okay. Now, one thing that you were trying to tell me during rehearsal is the importance of reapplication of the color that you started with, and how you blend. What are some of your thoughts with that?
Yeah, so I think that in order to try to make that transition between the two colors a little bit more seamless, a little bit more dreamy is probably the only word I can think of for that. If you just add a little bit more of that same color and blend it down over that line, it just helps make your that line a little bit softer.
Got it. Papa's
All right,
Mouth,
Jeff, I'm
thank
gonna
you.
move on to lemon whip. Are you okay with that?
Yeah, let's do it.
Cool.
We're getting accolades for the technology is caught up, which is good. Angie, thank you. It
Good.
takes practice, which is good. What we're The only thing we're kind of struggling with right now is the blowout of my camera. So that
Gotcha.
is
Okay.
we just have a little bit of a white a sharp whiteness that, but they can see yours beautifully.
Okay. And I'm sorry, I think mine is upside down and I have no idea what I did differently, but hopefully it's still, people can still see what I'm doing. I'll
So
get that. I'll remember that for next time.
Sonia is echoing the no line watercolor. Nice, got it.
Nice. I feel like I'm a little bit behind on comments because I have it up on my computer just on mute. But I think it's a little bit behind. But I know my friend Sika also echoed my sentiments of Copics, but Copics with no line coloring, and I 100% agree with her on that too.
I don't want you to be jealous, but Sika just sent me a beautiful card that I'm saving for a video release. Sika, I gotta tell you,
Yeah.
sister, beautiful card.
Hey. Hey, I'm not jealous because guess what?
Did you get one too?
She sent me one too.
That's Sika.
She's
Kathleen,
such a good girl. Love her.
Kathleen was wondering if you had any tips on no line coloring.
Huh. Um, I think you have to be really patient and have a good no line coloring ink. I really love the no line ink from Ink on 3.
Okay.
And I'm going to be real with you guys. I actually love to use my Zig markers, which are more of a water-based marker versus an alcohol marker for no line coloring. I feel like I have more success with those.
Avra is my sister friend. She says watercoloring, Copic coloring, and ink blending. Avra, we've got work to do, you and I. So you'll have to join us every Monday. Every Monday.
Hey, so tips on some watercoloring. If you guys haven't ever checked out the liquid watercolor from Pinkfresh Studio, I feel like it's super user friendly for whatever skill level you are in watercoloring versus, if you're brand new to it, if you're still learning, or, even if you're an expert, like they're really, really easy and user friendly.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
So, friends, are we ready to pick another question out of the hat? What question would you like? Let's get some votes up there.
And just in case you guys don't know, I'm going back over that blended line with the pink again, just to reveal a little bit of that beautiful coral that the two colors make.
And I am about to catch up to you by adding that back in.
Nice.
Chammy, you're right. The water splatter, just like our teacher told us. Okay, let me bring mine back in so that you can see what's going on. Direct to paper with zigs. Kathleen wanted to know if you take it direct to paper with your zigs.
I sure do. Just make sure you're using a water-friendly paper.
That's awesome. Kelby, she's been with me since the beginning and she joins me tonight, so I'm going to go ahead and go with what she says. She would like question number 2. Tammy, thank you for updating us about the sound. As you can imagine, while we're trying to create and run a show, any updates like that would be great. It looks like question number 2 has everybody's mind going. So let's do that. Let's go ahead and pull up question number 2. Question number 2 is, where is your creative space located in your home? We all know that our friend Mindy, who's online with us, hers is in the kitchen. I hope that you checked out my episode of Craft Cocktails, The Private Reserve, featuring Mindy. So many people enjoyed that episode, and we learned hers was in the kitchen. Hey, Leah, where is yours?
Okay, so my crafty room is actually in our dining room.
Okay.
And actually, ever since Josh Josh is my husband, sorry, ever since he started working from home, we actually also used or turned that into his office as well so that he has a desk space. So we have taken over the entire dining room.
Wow. There you go. And mine is located upstairs in our office where I used to let Dan have part of the office, but now it's just turned into a full craft studio.
That's awesome.
Bless his heart. I don't think he's been up here since 1985. And Mindy can confirm that she is officially talking to us from her kitchen craft room now. But Mindy was saying that it makes sense for her, and it probably makes sense for you and Josh. It's the central point of the house. You talk about that fantastic photography that you can get off of that window. We've all seen it at Pinkfresh, and it works perfectly, right?
It does. I, of course, do all of the photography for Pinkfresh, and I've got these big, beautiful windows that just allow in all of this perfectly diffused natural light. And so the move upstairs, I actually did used to craft in our basement, and I kind of hated it. I actually really love the move to the upstairs with more natural light and being closer to my hubby.
That's great. Marcy has a spare room. Some people, I think it was my friend Barb, who says that it's all over her house and her husband hates that. Julie's is in her dining room. Yeah, Barb was saying that it's there, and everyone hates that. Just bless your heart. Hi, Sika. The bonus room, which is good. Everyone is kind of relating to Barb, which is awesome. All right.
Oh, I don't know how far behind I am in comments, but Mindy again just told me that my pictures are amazing, and I just wanted to give her a little shout out and say thank you so much. I appreciate that.
Yeah, it's definitely part of the look and feel of what Pinkfresh is. You definitely made a signature there as far as we're concerned. All right, so we have the coordinating cut. As Leah said, we're doing the simply hexagons.
Yeah, are we ready to die cut?
Yeah, let's go ahead and do it.
And I feel like I saw a couple of comments come through that I'm too loud. I'm not so sure how to fix that. I think it's just because my phone is really close to my face, so I do apologize.
And I'm going to bring you down just a little bit on.
Okay.
So we can adjust it again if we need to, our friends.
Okay, perfect. So just let us know if I'm still too loud, guys.
All right. So both of our machines are off camera, or do you have yours? Mine's off camera, so I've got a.
Mine is actually technically off camera. It's just easier if I don't have to move it in and out. So I'll get the little piece set up here on camera, and then I'll just quick go over. We can just chat while we're die cutting off camera.
Great.
Hey, Jeff, so I want to know what made you start making cards?
Yeah, that's a great question. Let's see. I started because um, I was starting to be stressed out at work, actually. I had a little bit of stress at work. And I also really, really love home decor. Like I've always loved it. And so what I told myself is maybe I could get a silhouette machine. So Dan surprised me with the silhouette machine, and he was hoping that it would help us save some money on crafting. But I discovered a Christina Werner and Jennifer McGuire video, and I never turned back. And I found that I was able to replace some of my. I was an actor on the side of my professional day job at the Walt Disney World Resort. And it just became so therapeutic. And I would escape up to this room and just get a lot of crafting done. And then I found that I was kind of, I don't know, like I was a unicorn in the craft community. I thought that there was going to be more males, and it just wasn't. And so I decided what I would do is I would start looking for other males by using a hashtag called DudesCraft2. And through that, we just started to get a lot of conversation where companies were interested in the fact that I was a guy, but other dude crafters were finally connecting. Now, let me be honest with you. Many of you follow dude crafters that have much more of a larger following than me. And I'm not just talking about sort of the king, Tim Holtz, or the prince, Simon Hurley. I'm talking about crafters that have been out there. I know they exist, but I'm just trying to bring us to the forefront. So just doing it that way. I'm going to go die cut. Do you want to chat with the peeps for a second?
Yeah, sure. I'm kind of pulling mine apart here, and so you can go die cut yours, and I'll just show some stuff here.
Great.
All right, so I have kind of pulled this apart. We're going to be using, so the cool thing about this, when you die cut a piece that you ink blended, you can actually, it's like a twofer. You can use the inside pieces, but you can also use the outline for another card. And so that's what I love about background dyes and just Pinkfresh Studio product in general. It's super versatile. So I love to hear how Jeff got into card making. I think that's so awesome. I love to see guys that are crafty because let's be real, guys are crafty too. It's not just for females.
Right. And if you have dude crafters out there, everybody, that you would like for me to connect to or get to know better, I would love your suggestions. So be sure to reach out to me. My Instagram handle is Mr. Jeff Lindberg, and I would love to know the dude crafters in your life, and we can connect with them and make sure that they are aware of everything good that's happening over at Pinkfresh. All right, so talk to us, Miss Leah. What you got with your hexagon?
Okay, so I am going to actually use my inside pieces. What are those called? Are those the negatives or inside pieces? Whatever the technical term is.
Let's say inside pieces, because that sounds very fun.
I agree. So I'm going to use these, but I'm actually going to use my ink blended panel as like a guide, and I'm just going to tack it down onto an A2 card base with some temporary glue dots, which I have somewhere around here. What are you going to
Friends,
do with yours?
well, I'm going to use Simon Says Stamp Fog, which I was telling Leah that I'm obsessed with the grays and the stones right now. And thank goodness y'all have inks that are in that family collection as well, which is awesome.
Right? I'm actually a little obsessed with grays too lately. Like I never used to reach for them much, but one of our last releases, I went crazy with the gray. I was loving it too.
Right? And it looks so great with this particular collection. So tell us a little bit about how you had to travel with your card supplies because you knew you had to work, right? So
Yep.
what did you have to do? Is there things that you're missing? How are you doing over there?
Well, there are definitely things that I am missing. I had to run to, okay, I'm in a tiny town or a tiny city in Montana called Butte. There's not much in terms of craft shopping here. There's like a Joann's that's really tiny. And I realized I didn't bring vellum, which was like part of my sentiment for today. So I had to go run and try to find some vellum. It's not like my most favorite vellum in the world because it has kind of a shimmer, but you make do. You make do.
Right. You know,
Okay.
I was the type of crafter that thought that I'm going to say you, as in I used to not be a crafter, that all of you had to go find your stuff at Joanne and Michael's or the like, not knowing
Yeah.
that online retailers and companies were killing it. Like, you know what I mean? That you
Oh,
actually
yeah.
don't get it at, I love, don't we all love when our friends and family get us gift cards to Michael's thinking that it's going to like solve all of our expenses? I'm not saying it's bad. I'm not trashing my friends at Michael's. I can spend a Michael's gift card. So if you want to tip your host and send me a gift card, I'm going to use it. I'm probably just going to use it for home decor or essential supplies and not necessarily getting stamp products, right?
100%. Yeah. Um, I love Michael's, I love Joann's, but there's something to be said about our retailers that really like specialize in paper crafting. So, our friends at, say Simon Says Stamp or scrapbook.com or Ellen Hudson, and there's so many more we could list as well. Um, I definitely prefer to support them because we know that they're more, a small business than more than anything. So,
Sure. And let's talk about the fact that they absolutely have been killing it with their delivery and schedule, as well as working through shutdowns, which has been so awesome. They've definitely
yeah.
stayed connected to their consumer. How is Pinkfresh Studio doing with all of the deliveries and supply and demand?
Oh man, it took us a while we're doing pretty good. We still follow very strict safety and cleanliness measures. So shipping is sometimes takes a little bit longer than it used to. But what I think has been so amazing is our amazing customers and crafty friends have been so supportive and so understanding about the fact that for a while we couldn't ship. And when we came back to shipping, we had a lot of catch up to do. And now we're just trying to make sure that our staff and everybody just stays really safe and healthy. And people have been awesome about being understanding when there's delays.
Right. Barb, I couldn't agree more. Barb was reminding us to support small businesses and creative people because it's sort of the heartbeat behind passion, and that passion is leading to providing me with, again, a lot of therapy. The ability for me to be able to create has definitely helped during this very unusual time.
Absolutely. And if you still have a brick and mortar store in your area, definitely still support them because they definitely got hit really hard too during all of this.
So I too am starting to pop up my hexagons. I'm going to
Cool.
intentionally leave some of that fog um, space to be sort of my white space. And as
That's
our
awesome.
friend Laura says, dimension is life. So
Dimension is life.
awesome.
So
All right.
I'm doing the same thing. I'm popping mine up with Dimension as well. And I'm glad that we're chatting because this is probably like the most boring part to watch and do, but it still is a necessary piece because, yep, just as Laura says, Dimension is life.
I love that my iPhone just told the public that there's light rain starting here at home. That's good. I'll have to remember
Oh,
to turn off notifications next time.
hey,
All
hey,
right.
at least hey, maybe it lets somebody know that didn't know.
All right. So if you're inside the Central Florida area, this is also a weather show, which is fun. All right, let's move over to question number 5. Are you ready to travel again? What do you think?
Oh.
Well, you
Um,
definitely had to travel. You got on the road and traveled. So, friends in
I
the
wrote
Pinkfresh
traveled.
Studio audience, are you ready to travel? Make sure you throw some comments up there so Leah and I know what you're
Yeah,
thinking about traveling. So, Leah, what were you saying? I'm sorry I interrupted you.
that's totally fine. So I was pretty okay with traveling via car. I knew I was going to Montana, which has a relatively low number of COVID cases. I don't know if I'm ready for air travel yet.
Yeah, you're still thinking about it?
Yeah.
Got it.
What about you, Jeff?
Well, I work in the tourism industry, and so I definitely need for people to be in planes in order for my life to go back to normal. But I want to do it when it's safe, and I know that we as a company at the place that I'm working are taking that very seriously. But I just miss air travel. I'm a big air travel guy, so I'm missing it, and I'm really big on European adventures. So definitely can't do a car trip to Montana situation. So, so yeah.
I agree. I am totally an air travel person too. Not to make this show heavy, but when our little ones passed away, we made a pact with each other that we were going to travel more and live life fully, to honor our kids. And we did have to cancel a couple of trips that we had planned this year. So I agree. Like I definitely am. I'm ready to travel, but then I'm also still kind of cautious, I guess.
Sure. That completely makes sense. So, folks,
Okay, so
you can see I just had an ouchie, so we're correcting that pretty quick. Um,
well, that's okay. That happens.
yeah, gonna try to get you back on screen in just a second. I pulled you off for.
Oh, okay. Let me know when I'm back on.
All right, let's do that desktop duo. So there we're both on, which is great.
Cool. Oh, Jeff, it looks like you got your lighting dialed in. That's awesome.
Finally, thank you, Mindy. I appreciate it. So yep. So Lori says no cure yet, so I'm not ready to travel. Is Heather on the
Yeah,
Pinkfresh line or is that Kinnery? It says mask stress me
I
out, so
believe
I'll be
I'm
waiting.
pretty sure it's Heather.
Miss Heather says that they stress her out, so she's gonna wait. Avra, I
Yep.
buy too much of Pinkfresh. Oh, I agree. Well, that's the way to go. That's the way to go, which is great. All right.
So I pulled off my negative piece so that all of my hexagons would just be standing up on their own.
Looks beautiful.
Thanks. And just like Laura Bassins always says, dimension is life. I just love it.
And that drop shadow, of course, helps tremendously giving the effect, which is great. Friends,
Thanks. It sure does. It's really helpful in photography too to make it look more real.
we definitely have a lot of people that are okay with the road trips, which is good, but no on travel. It's definitely taught us a lot about surviving at home, right?
It really has. And, like just finding ways to entertain yourself at home and have fun at home. So, yeah.
All right. So
All
I'm
right.
going to throw up the next question. I believe we haven't done question number 4. Yeah. So this question fascinates me because I'm always looking for a good binge, right? If we're not traveling, then we got to have something to watch on TV. What are some TV shows that you're binging right now? I'll start on this one, if you don't
Okay,
mind. And
please do.
our bosses have told us that it's both Heather and Kinnery too. So we've got to watch her mouth. We can't talk about the boss right now because she is watching us like a hawk. Boss, I'm telling you, I promise I will fix some of these technical issues before our next show. Next Monday, by the way, unless Kennery and Leah fire me. So, what TV show am I binging right now? You know, I am obsessed with suggestions. So, if you ever have suggestions, hit me up at Mr. Jeff Lindberg on Instagram with TV shows that you are loving. I just finished all 4 seasons, I believe, of Anne with an E, the Canadian broadcast remake of Anne of Green Gables. And I thought it was fantastic. It was such an unbelievable redo of that storyline. I think I saw it on PBS and the Disney Channel when I was growing up. So to have a new take on it has been fantastic. Miss Leah, what about you?
Oh boy, we're not really binge watchers, actually.
Okay.
We have a rule in our house that we can only watch one episode at a time each day. So we're not like the people that watch shows, show after show after show. I'm trying to think of what we watch. So we're a little behind times. We are just now starting the Handmaid's Tale.
Oh, that's too
And
dystopian for me, sister. You can have that one.
and we are working our way through Ozark as
Okay.
well.
That one's she's a little rough too, that Ozark.
We don't watch real lighthearted stuff. Now that I'm starting to think of
Clearly.
all of the shows that we watch, we kind of watch heavy shows, it seems. We do like to watch a lot of cooking shows though, like Chopped and Guys Grocery Games and Diners, Drivers, whatever that thing is.
Marcy wanted to share that she absolutely has been loving. Tracy loves Anne with an E. Awesome, good. And we have a lot of Ozark fans, so you are not
Ooh,
Ozark. So
I'm in good company.
I've started to work on my sentiment. I'm using the Pinkfresh
Oh,
Studio Beautiful. I decided to do it in a rose gold mirror paper that I got from Simon Says Stamp, and
ooh, that's cool.
I've already die cut it, but I haven't given it dimension yet. So I'm hoping that these hexagons can help me with that.
Okay, so off camera, I actually am going to die cut the gold. So I chose a mirrored gold for mine. I have not die cut that piece yet, but I did before the show started, the shadow layer from some vellum. And then I die cut the word. I'm using the hello die, I think I'm not sure. Oh, you're using the beautiful die?
Yep.
Cool. So I chose the hello die from our classic words die set. And I've already die cut it a few times from white. And so I'm just going to go ahead and die cut it from gold and layer it on there. So I'll be off camera just for a minute.
That's great. That's great. I'll bring the camera to myself as the thunder and lightning comes in here in Orlando. My goodness, I'm glad we only have 12
I
minutes.
love thunder and lightning. Do you?
I am totally okay with it. I don't know if it was the initial start of, the shelter in place slash, and someone did ask if I still work at Walt Disney World. I'm still a proud Mouseketeer. Unfortunately, the company has had to furlough us, so I'm currently unemployed. I've been with the company for 25 plus years and can't wait to get back to taking our guests on VIP tours, and I miss it very much. So if any of my friends or family are watching, thanks for your support. Onward, we'll get through it. But that's the reason why I don't talk about it too much right now, because it's a very unusual time. But yes,
Yeah.
I don't know who just wrote that, but I absolutely still do, and I consider myself a full-fledged, full-time Mouseketeer. I'll be back soon, I'm sure. So we definitely have the beautiful word die that I'm using. It's still available. We put up the link there for you. We've got a lot of Blue Bloods fans, which are very good. We love blue, but blue, I can't talk Blue Bloods. We have a bestie here. We have one of my best friends in the world who is not a crafter, but an amazing theatrical designer. If you follow Craft Cocktails, you've seen him a lot. Ben Rush is here. We have an Outlander fan there, which is good. And Julie is reminding me that I better make sure Hazel Harper is inside. I've got to leave that to Dan this time. Although I have heard her outside trying to get here into the office, but I've been a mean dad. All right, let's go back
Oh,
down to the desktop for a second, and I'm going to have to go on the honor system to finish my card at a later time. So let's get that desktop for you. So as you can see, I'm trying to do drop shadow dimensions by giving a little bit of lift to my hexagons, keeping that beautiful sentiment top of mind, and then also keeping that fog cardstock available as well. Awesome.
nice.
All right.
I am gluing down the gold layer of my sentiment. So when we drove over here to Montana, we changed to really high elevation, and so some of my glues are kind of gushing. So I'm having to do a little cleanup.
Oh, goodness.
Yeah.
But I'm telling you, that drop shadow is fantastic. And she hates
Nice.
that vellum,
Okay.
everybody. She hates that vellum, but look at that. We got some Leah Lawson signature gold in there.
I love gold. I think it's really cool that you picked rose gold for yours. I think that's awesome.
So we get the idea of what that one's going to look like. Miss Leah, will I'm going to pull you off camera, and will we go back to your front facing shot and let's have some housekeeping fun? Does that sound good?
Sounds good.
Awesome. All right, you're off for just a second. Hey
Okay.
everybody, this has just been so much fun, and it definitely has not been without its technical issues. That's right. I mean, it's what I guess that's what we do, right? So I hope that you've been having fun with our first premiere episode of Craft Cocktail. Whoops, wrong show. The host. We can plug that too. You can catch
Yeah.
Craft Cocktails on YouTube as well on my channel, Jeff Lindberg Creates. But our premiere episode of Craft Hour with Pinkfresh. Did anybody notice where Pinkfresh is behind me? If you did, throw it up in the comments if you've seen it. I placed a little subliminal Pinkfresh behind me
Ooh.
in the studio, which is very exciting. Leah, have you been able to see it yet? Oh, it keeps going to the wrong camera. What's going on with that? Let's see.
Um, I really feel like I'm pretty far behind on Instagram or YouTube.
Let's get my face up there too. Well, it's a little hard to see, but I'm going to bring just mine up and I'm going to see if, can everybody see back there? Look at that. Look, pink, fresh in my block lettering. Just saying.
Oh, fun.
Got to throw it in there. I am so behind on the comments that the blocks. Thank you, Ben. Ben got it right. But Ben has been up here, which he probably has seen it firsthand. Miss Leah, it can't be a cool, fun show without a giveaway, right?
That's right.
I mean, Pinkfresh Studio, whether you join Heather's show, tell them when we can find Heather's show or mine. So Heather can be found weekly.
Yeah, so Heather does a weekly YouTube live on Tuesdays at 3 p.m. I can't remember what time zone. And then on Thursdays, she does Facebook Live at 12 p.m. And I would suggest signing up for our email newsletter because that also has all of the correct time zones in it, which gets me all confused sometimes.
Yes. When you're running a global enterprise, it's sometimes difficult. You're right, everybody. It's the blocks up there. Thank you so much. I had to give a tribute to the company that let me have this vestibule to come talk to y'all for a little while. So listen, we are interested in giving out a $15 gift card to Pinkfresh Studio. Come on, when you're at home and crafting, and with this amazing release that just came out, we could definitely use it. So we are going to randomly draw a comment. And if there's someone who's good at it, it's my friend Heather. When you host 2 shows a week like she does, Heather, I got to tell you, I have been watching those shows and just been like, okay, I'm going to do that. No problem. Now that I've done it one time, I am completely going to have to rehearse for a week before we come back next Monday, which is good. Miss Heather, what do you think? Well, first of all, let's help Jeannie Jordan or Jean Jordan, Jeannie, JJ, J squared wants to know what Heather's YouTube channel is called. You can catch her on our Facebook group for Pinkfresh by liking the Pinkfresh Facebook group. But Heather, do you have your own YouTube channel as well, correct? Yep, there you go. So she's answered that question, which is great. And Nancy Lee needs some
Perfect.
new stamps. All right, Miss Heather or Kinnery, whoever's picking the name, who is going to get that $15 gift card to Pinkfresh Studio?
I finished my card. I don't know
Oh,
if you can see it.
of course you did. I just got a friend request and now everybody knows about it. We'll have to definitely fix that for next time. Very popular, you guys, getting a lot of friend requests, you know. I'm kidding. All right, let's look for that name. We're going to throw it up and make sure. Listen, friends, every Monday, 7 p.m., we'll get better at this with every show. Like I said, for those of you who may have not caught the top of the show, Ecamm Live runs this program for us, and I am a DJ, a cameraman, a card maker, and a host all at the same time. So it definitely is one of those interesting things where I have to rely on the technology to work at the right time. So congratulations. It looks like Edith. Let's see, did
I
I
was going to
miss it?
say, congratulations, Edith. I think I saw that come through.
Edith, that's so great. I'm so happy for you. I love a good giveaway. We're going to make it a little more challenging, I'll tell you. When Leah and I can put our heads together, it may not just be a random draw. We may have to figure out a way to make this even more exciting in the future, which is good. And again, I will think of more fun pop culture references as well as ways to make this show just a little bit different. Leah and I, as well as all the Pinkfresh Studios leadership team, are passionate about bringing you something different on Mondays, to have a social time where we can get together, we can connect, and if we make a card, that's great. But we also want to make sure that we build the Pinkfresh community and make sure that we hear you as our consumers, whether we are taking a brand new release or a previously released product that we love and cherish so well. We'll be doing that every week at 7 o'clock here on the show. All right, my friend, we have to land the plane in 3 minutes. Do you have anything you want your favorite consumers to know?
Yes, actually, we have a really special collaboration that's going to be releasing on Friday. It is a collection of products that we have co-designed with our friends at Altenew. It is a collection that is geared towards both card makers and scrapbookers. So it has stamps, dies, pattern papers, and ephemera. It's really beautiful. We posted a sneak peek on our Instagram handle last week, and we're really excited about this fun collaboration with them.
Yeah. There's one thing that I've definitely loved about the stamp community is that it is a community that's connected to one another and partners through the Stamping Village, which Pinkfresh Studio is very proudly a member of, come together and make great products for the community with co-licensing, which is so awesome. And I know we love to see all of y'all work together so well, which is great. All right, Miss Leah, before we send you off, anything else you want to share? Where can people find you if they want to connect with you?
Oh, if you want to find me, my handle everywhere is Leah Lawson Creates. So that's what I am on both Instagram and Facebook, and that's also my website address.
Awesome. Leah, we had our first date live in front of everybody, and it was
We
so
did.
fun to have a show just with you. You are the splatter queen of my heart, my love. Thank you so much for joining me.
Oh.
I appreciate it.
I
I
had so
appreciate
much
it.
fun with you. I'm so glad that I could be on your premiere episode of Craft Live
Yes.
or Craft Hour.
Craft
Sorry,
hour.
wrong, wrong,
We'll
wrong
get it
title.
right. We'll get it right, which is great. All right, friend, I'm going to take you off camera. If you could mute, it was a pleasure seeing you. Have a great rest of your trip in Montana, and I can't wait to get my notes. She's totally going to fire
Thanks,
me, you guys.
guys. Bye,
Okay.
guys.
Bye, everybody. All right, everyone. Thank you so much for joining for the premiere episode of Craft Hour with Pinkfresh Studio. We have such a good time around here, so it makes sense for you to have a good time as our fresh studio audience that we're going to have. The Pinkfresh Studio audience team is you. Make sure that you connect, showcase, subscribe, hit that notification button, and know that we will comment and connect with you as people that are taking their time on their Monday night to spend an hour with me. Next week, we'll have a brand new show. We'll have a new designer. Who knows who that will be? If you have recommendations of your favorite Pinkfresh designer, be sure to let us know. And we'll have another great episode. So I will see you next Monday. Does that sound like a plan? Monday? Is it a date? I love that. All right, here's a date for next Monday. Thanks again, everybody, and have a great week. Bye.